Okay, something that I've touched on in other podcasts and interviews I've had, which may seem controversial, and I accept the fact that I'm going to have a lot of opposing views on this, but it is something that I just feel is valuable to say and is important, especially for the generation that is soon to come and is here right now. So, in the adult industry, I have always felt personally that the age of 18 is somewhat too young for people to get involved in porn. And I understand that there's different levels of maturity in females at that age. But if you need to be 21 years old to buy alcohol, at least in the United States, where, okay, alcohol can kill you, alcohol can cause severe damage in your life, but so can also working in the adult industry. And the difference there is that working in adult film, especially, is permanent. So once you get involved in that industry and you start shooting videos and they become public and they're out there, especially nowadays with the free sites and the tube sites, it's prolific and it just keeps going and going as you get older, and these companies will just utilize your level of growth in life to those old videos that you shot maybe 10 years ago. So the impact is real, okay? If you get alcohol poisoning, you could die, yeah, right? But you could also recover, and it's just soon a learning lesson that you've experienced as an adolescent. When you have worked in porn and you don't own the content, and that video is now not yours and you're not in control of it, it could have severe consequences, but mainly mentally and emotionally and physically, and it could disrupt your life for the rest of your existence. So I just wanted to kind of make people aware of this, that when you're 18, 19, 20 even, however young, I mean early 20s even, some people are not ready for that. Some people are not prepared for the consequences that occur then after. And I'm not trying to say that someone can't handle this, because there's certainly people that are. But I think that we're causing our youth a very horrible experience in most cases, and a disadvantage to having a healthy adulthood when they are too young to have these experiences. And then they later on regret it. And they later on just spending time wishing, man, I wish I thought twice about this. I wish I thought about trying something else before I did this at so young. I was listening to a podcast recently, Aubrey Marcus, the owner of On It. He had the CIA agent on talking about how he's disrupted sexual child rings and all these, and he's had personal experience having to deal with children suffering sexual abuse. And though it's a little slightly different, sorry, I got cut off, but though the video is slightly different in what they're talking about, there were points that were really valuable and made sense to existing situations in society today. The first thing is that the generations, like, getting younger and younger, they're becoming more sexualized, especially these young women. Like, they think that they have to have sex appeal to be valuable. And this is something that's causing a lot of destruction in society. And young men are becoming addicted to porn and these online outlets for sexual activity, that they are struggling to develop healthy relationships with women because they either have these expectations or flawed perspectives on what sex is and what sexuality is. And this is only getting worse. I mean, like, your girls younger and younger are wanting plastic surgery. Girls younger and younger are dressing inappropriate. They're dressing, very more scandalous and sexual, and it's just become normalized in society, and it's creating this perspective for adults to think that having sexual attraction to a child is okay, and it's creating more of an opportunity for pedophilia to develop. And I mean, people are gonna not like me saying this because I know it's fucked up, and I'm not pointing fingers at people, but it is creating a society where it could be potentially destructive of people's viewpoints of, oh, how young is too young? Oh, you know, she looks of age, or, oh, if she says yes or she says no. I mean, like, it's just creating this, like, social paradigm that is awful, revolving around sexuality. And it doesn't help that porn sites take advantage of this, and they have categories like teen, you know, and high school, and it just makes you, like, on that edge of, like, okay, this is slightly uncomfortable, but, you know, I'm allowed to feel this, right, because it's on the internet. So that needs to come to people's attention. I just feel, and I've had people, producers, friends in the industry that have shot girls freshly 18, and they often say it makes them uncomfortable because these girls are too young. Some of them aren't even developed, and they just are expected to be this sexual desire on camera, and then other people watch it, and it creates this just horrible loop, this psychological loop that is destroying, like, a healthy outlook of sex and attraction. And as a woman that has worked in the adult industry very young, I am scared for the future developing from how prolific and vast the whole porn industry has gotten, and just taken control over people's life. I mean, there's people, like, the addiction aspect is real, you know, people just having these crazy expectations and thinking that, oh, this is how it is, and this is how it is, and this is what someone should look like, and this is how someone should appear. It's becoming disturbing. And I'm not just trying to focus on the negative, because sure, you could look at it as a positive light too, like it's created people to become more sexually expressive and comfortable with themselves, or, you know, the whole the gay and lesbian and trans community have given more of a voice, and so it has the positive outlets too. But it's something like, okay, technology and, say, like, virtual reality, we have to use it to our advantage in a healthy way, or we're just going to become destructive with it and use it for pure entertainment and unmotivating us to actually focus on the important aspects in life. And I just want to put that thought out there, that I honestly think that the age of adult film and webcam, and even, you know, maybe stripping in certain aspects, that they should maybe raise the age, or at least, you know, an 18-year-old have a parent sign. I mean, if someone is that serious about getting into the adult industry, maybe they need an adult to kind of be there to say, hey, you know, my daughter, my son really wants this in life, and I'm going to support them if this is what they want to do. Maybe that should be a thing. And so there's no, oh, they got daddy issues, they got these issues. No, it's like, okay, this is an adult decision between a child or a teenager and their parent saying, hey, okay, I agree to allow my child to pursue this as a career. I mean, that's just a thought, you know, but people need to think about this. And if you're on that line where, you know, you're questioning your desires, and don't be ashamed so much of yourself. And I'm not trying to belittle or berate anyone, but just, you know, be aware that this existing psychological tension of inappropriate age and sexuality is a real thing in society, and it's getting worse. So I think that we should maybe take a step back and try to do something about it now while we can, before it gets to a point, while to the generations, that it's become so normalized that it will maybe be too late. So just something to be aware of. And once again, I'm not making this video to discriminate or make someone feel bad or guilty about anything. And to the young adult workers that are pursuing this or wanting to get into it, I would just honestly tell you to think hard about it and make sure that, okay, this is really what I want to do. This is what I feel like is my mission, my goal. I want to get this into action. If it's something that you seriously want to do and you have a good head on your shoulders, then, by all means. But I think that it should be also something that a adult co-signer should be involved with. So there's another person involved in the picture that can maybe give this person a point of reference to either back them up or to have them think twice about a decision that might alter the rest of their life in, you don't want to say a negative way, but most likely a negative way, hopefully a positive way. But I think that we need to be more mature about human sexuality and the porn industry and the adult industry, and realize that we need to take the time and responsibility now while we can.